Hey, and we're live. Awesome. Welcome, guys. We've been away for a little bit, but we're back now. Welcome to Gunpla Talk, episode 29. Today we're gonna be talking about scribing, continuing our conversation about all things having to do with chisels, panel lines, and all that good stuff. So welcome. Like I said, we've been gone for a minute. Had some scheduling conflicts here for the past couple months. You know, we have real lives and families and stuff we have to take care of, so that comes first, obviously. But we're back now and hopefully regularly. But welcome again. I am one of your co-hosts, Tim, Child of Mecca, one and only. Hi. Good to meet you. We're going to go around the room, say hi to everybody, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what each one of us is working on. And we're going to do some news, and then we're going to get into scribing and all that fun stuff. So let's first start with Mr. Gundam UK, Simon. Simon, introduce yourself, sir.
Hello, I'm Simon, excuse me, otherwise known as Gundam UK. And I am currently working on a 3.0 master grade Granddaddy Gundam.
Is it awesome?
It's pretty awesome. Look how awesome it is. That is awesome.
Very cool. So that's the 3.0, right? You said?
Yeah, indeed.
Not
very
yours.
impressive engineering.
Yeah. It looked
And
pretty
a very,
impressive
very
from what I've seen.
And a really fiddly arm. It's quite a complex build, that one. So
putting the elbow together is like, what? If it, how's it supposed to go?
You have to balance parts on a table and then push it down together. That's what I figured out after the first arm. So yeah,
it really throws you off the first time.
Yes.
Very cool. Now, do you have anything special planned for it, or just kind of straight build, or what are we looking at?
It's going to be just out of box colors and probably some very light pre-shading and a bit of weathering.
Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. Well, can't wait to see that. So. All right. Well, let's go over next to our good friend and our channel provider here, Mr. Zack, ZakuAurelius. Say hi, Zack.
Good morning. Just recovering from night. My friend, a good friend of mine here, was visiting. He was in town last night, so had a good night out last night. It's like once in 5 months occasion, something like that. You guys know how it is once you got the kids and a wife, all that stuff. Hard to get out. So
awesome.
Took the chance last night, but
there's nothing wrong with a good hangover.
Yeah. So got the little mixed up some. Oh, it's juice, guys. Have you guys thought about juicing? It's seriously like healthy. It's so healthy I can't even say how healthy it is. That should tell you right there. But seriously, I'm a juicer now, guys. So you guys should really think about juicing. I mean, like, I can't stop thinking about juicing. No, so mango smoothie. So some recovery breakfast there. So I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. I wish that I could show you guys the Sun Toys SD Style Ava kit. I've shown you guys, but I mean like you guys, the people watching live, but I don't have it here. It's at my school.
I'm really upset that you got that before me.
Well, you'll get it sometime this week, I'm sure, right?
I don't know. I've been tracking it, and it hasn't been updated. So hopefully this week.
I'm sure you'll get it probably painted up far faster than that will anyway. So
maybe. I don't know. I don't think I'm driven on this one.
Yeah. So far, I can just tell you guys my experience with it. Though it really, really seems like it's a Kotobukiya kit. If you've built a Kotobukiya Eva kit, it feels like a third-party version of that. So like, just as complicated, with a little bit more flash and a little bit less plastic quality. But
Interesting.
yeah, it's not bad at all. Haven't really had
So
anything.
compare it to Kotobukiya, that's a pretty strong statement.
It's like I say, I've built one Kotobukiya Eva kit, and it feels very, very similar to that.
Oh wow, nice.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. And otherwise,
Sun's
just
doing
working
it up.
on the panel lining on the XN riser.
Oh, very cool.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. We're going to go over next to Mr. Justin and special guest, Cupcake Mecha himself, Jacob. Say hi, guys.
Nope.
Hi, guys.
Guys. Justin, Jacob.
What's up?
They have frozen in
From
time.
Tokyo. Hey, are you guys with us? Hey, all right. Say hi to everybody, guys.
We work. We broke it. We broke the internet.
I know. I gave you this,
Nobody
I
can
gave you this strong intro and everything. You guys didn't even hear me.
Whoa.
No, we heard you. You just can't hear us.
Oh.
Oh, okay. You guys didn't respond. I didn't see it. Sorry.
That's so weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell them.
We're here. What's up?
Yeah, we're live.
Well, what are you guys working on?
I'm working on a couple resin kits and a really nice, my new favorite seed kit, the Buster Gundam.
The Buster.
Ah,
This is a
Don't
commission.
be a Buster.
You what?
Justin, you hadn't built one of those before working on this one?
No, I've wanted one for a really long time, and I just never really bit the bullet on it.
It's nice.
And he's the guy that does a lot of my commissions. Sent me a box of kits that he wanted painted,
Uh-huh.
and this was in it. So I'm very fortunate that I finally get to work on one.
I really like that kit a lot.
Kits that he wanted painted. That sounds crazy.
Yeah, it was like 9 or 10 kits.
Oh,
This dude's serious.
nice.
I'll say. I'm working on a master grade new Gundam Ka. It's downstairs at the moment, though. Don't have it up here.
Nice.
Cool.
Very cool. Well, hey, Jacob, thank you for joining us, man. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Cool. And so for me, what am I working on? Well, technically, I'm not working on anything at the moment because I finished the Aussie. Yeah,
Nice.
thankfully. So
you haven't revealed that online yet, have you?
I have not, but you know what? I was thinking a little bit earlier, and I thought just for the awesome, amazing Gunpla Talk people that watch the show that I might put a little bit of a single image out there for people to see. So, Zach, if you could, hit me up with the screen dealy here, and I will share my screen. Cool, I am presenting. Sweet. All right, so here we go, folks.
Well, that's trippy.
There's your screen. Damn. Nice.
And there he is.
I see you.
Yep, there's you.
See me?
Yes, to see you.
There he is.
Is this still me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a
Damn
screen
it.
instead of a screen.
That doesn't seem to be working. All right, rock and roll. Thanks.
Oh, now
Okay.
it's even smaller you.
Oh, now it's the small me.
Getting smaller and smaller.
All right, let's try this one more time here. All right, so now can you see my screen?
Yep.
Nice. 5.
You see your screen inside your screen inside your screen.
So now can you see the Aussie?
No, I see
No,
you.
we see you smiling.
God damn it.
Oh,
Google,
Let's
fix
go
your
get it.
shit.
Why don't you just go get it?
Show it up real quick and then put it away again.
Jesus. Should I just go get it? I
Let's
should
go
probably
get it.
just go get it.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
yeah.
Hang tight. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back.
Bye, Tim.
You can always segue into the next bit and then You know, when Tim gets back.
Backtrack.
Yeah, sure. I think there's been some news, but kind of the big news I think since the last time we had a show is probably the PGX, yeah. So
Mhm.
why don't we
And a
talk
new
about the,
Re 100.
The
the new
Gundam.
R100?
Mm.
Yeah. Here, let me take it off Tim. I think people are just looking at Tim's blank screen now because he's still presenting. Sorry about that. Yeah. We're professionals over here, don't you know? Let me show this, and we'll take a look at some of the photos of this thing here. I am really excited, and I don't really even particularly like the Exia that much, so.
Well, then you buy it, and build it, and do all that, and then give it to me, and then I'll paint it, and you can have it back.
I've already pre-ordered it.
I'm thinking about that. Yeah, but it looks really awesome. Have you guys seen like a video of the lighting sequence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 3D render promo video or whatever.
It's quite fleshy.
It's very nice.
The pictures definitely don't do it justice. I mean, it looks good in
All right.
pictures, but seeing like the lighting sequence on video and how that works, it looks so cool.
The cool thing about the lighting sequence is that you don't really get the idea of the transition. It's not like the lights just change colors.
Mm-hmm.
That's the cool thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a slow fade, isn't it? It's quite nice.
Yeah. It's like when you go into Windows Movie Maker and you put two clips together and then you put like a sparkle animation over it.
Exactly like that. Yeah.
Totally.
Wow, I
Like
came
the
back
first
at the
time-
wrong time, didn't I? Talking about sparkle animation.
transitions.
Sweet.
We were just talking about the PG Exit here for a minute, Tim.
Ah, wunderbar.
What the thing that I think is kind of weird though is how for the Unicorn at least they sold the LED unit separately. So if you just got the kit and like you couldn't afford to get like the whole set or something at first or whatever, you weren't sure you wanted, you could get the LED set later. But with this, they seem to be not selling the LED set on its own.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, you can get it without the LED set.
Yeah, you can get it without the LED set.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you got it without, and then later you decide you want it, you're kind of fucked, right? You can't. You have to buy the lighting one.
You gotta buy a whole new X.
Yeah.
That's a big price difference too.
It is. It's huge.
Between the two sets. That's pretty crazy.
It's a little upsetting, actually. I also speculate that the LEDs are they come with a remote. I don't remember why I think that, but
Huh.
Guys, looking at the base, you should probably be able to tell if there's like a sensor or something. But
yeah, that's why I thought it.
that looks like that's just the hole for where the button should be. Like
It looks kind of glossy though. It looks like
Uniform.
like there's a thing that goes in there.
maybe yeah, could be. Like it could be maybe just here on the top. Maybe that's the button is like actually just part of the base here. Like you just press that.
That would be nice.
Could be. That'd be cool. Yeah.
Another thing that disappoints me about this is that in order to have the LEDs running, you have to have it plugged into the base. That's really upsetting to me.
You want to have
It's
it
kind of
like,
garbage
on its own.
Because like the old PGs came with lights standard,
Yeah.
and like it was just the head, but it didn't have to be attached to anything to run.
Yeah.
It just worked. So it seems in a couple ways like it's a step backwards, but it is a really nice looking kit so far.
I love that they're bringing back the open hatch features as well. It's a lot of these
The
open
PG
hatches.
design is definitely lacking in some inner frame love, and
And
they stay on the track.
the way that the GN drive opens up all the little hatches on that looks pretty awesome too.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even see that. Oh, that is cool. It's like a flower. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think like this whole thing, they have this like extra arm built into the base for displaying it like that. It's gonna be really cool.
Still waiting for the Astria.
Hopefully that's gonna be crazy expensive. But here's what they'll probably do. They'll probably release the LED set just on its own later as a P-band, I think, and people will go ape shit. People will.
Well, see, that's one of those things that's geared for P Bandai. If you've got two versions, one with and one without lights anyway, the people who want the lights later will be able to just grab it later. So that makes sense as a P Bandai item.
I guess so. Yeah. Still, there'll be loads of internet rage over that.
Oh, there's already internet rage over this thing.
Yeah, it's not even out yet. And there's internet rage.
And anything P Bandai, I guess there's internet rage over. Yeah.
Just about.
Also,
yes, like P Bandai bicycle.
There was that one, right? That Char's bicycle. It looks like it'll be chrome, like with the RG, chrome plated on the sword blades as well.
It was on the master grade repair one too.
Oh yeah, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you got the one that was like the 2-in-1, the regular and the repair. Or I guess I shouldn't say repair, the damaged version. The blades were chrome on that one.
Mm-hmm. So hopefully those have well placed gates.
Yeah, I wouldn't
design that very well. Yeah, that really does look like that's a button on the top of there, I'm gonna say. But let's wait and see.
Maybe.
Just the size and shape of that. But yeah, the gun cannon detector as well. And then I guess the new master grade is also coming, the GM command. Let's see if there's pictures of. Here we go. It's not really much to show of the gun cannon at this point, but
it's an interesting choice.
I like the armor plating on the front shoulders.
Mm-hmm. It's a cool design, and I haven't seen this anywhere else except for Samuel Decal's Facebook feed, but he said something that the red version will be P Bandai. I haven't seen it anywhere else, but that makes sense, I guess. Have you guys seen anything about that?
I have not.
Actually, I should say I saw it through Henry's tweet of a screen cap of Samuel's page.
It's like forehand information.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a promo video. I haven't seen that. I just seen videos of it at the show. How about this thing too? The Gundam marker airbrush system.
Why?
Yeah. Why?
Who's got that pre-ordered?
I've got it pre-ordered.
Oh, hey guys, Tim, you can share your thing.
Oh,
here. I gotta run out to the other room here. So.
Oh, rocking.
All
right. Well, I will show my thing.
Show
you guys looking at my thing.
Everybody's looking at your thing.
I know, right? So much pressure.
Don't blush.
Right, so here we go. There's the Aussie.
Oh my god.
That is really cool. I like it a lot.
That's him.
That's really good.
So you'll see it in better pictures. Back there for you guys.
Yeah, 540 pixel webcam teaser.
Yeah, right. It's not the greatest in the quality in the world, but you guys can get a sense.
You don't want to give it away.
Yeah, I don't want to give too much. So, but rest assured, I'm real happy with it. I really enjoy how it came out, the weathering, the whole nine. This model was a lot of firsts for me. You know, it's huh?
Is it the first time you weathered?
Yes. I mean, seriously weathered. I mean, I tried weathering way back in the day, and it came out like crap because I didn't know what I was doing. You know, the whole model thing, I didn't know what I was doing, but weathering wise, I sure as shit didn't know what I was doing. So, but you know, in terms of a serious effort, yes, this is the first time weathering. So, first time doing a Xeon suit, first time weathering, first time chipping, all that stuff. So yeah, this was a lot of firsts for me. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Way to step out of your comfort zone.
What's that?
I said, way to step out of your comfort zone.
I know, right? I wanted to. Well, after I didn't get it done for New York Comicon, I figured why not do something crazy with it, because I wasn't intentionally going to weather this thing. That wasn't the original thought process. But after I didn't get it done, I was just like, screw it, I got a few more weeks, let's go crazy with it. So yeah, I went ahead and I chipped it and used the Tamiya weathering powders. Those are amazing, by the way. Just for anybody out there on the fence about those, if you wanted to get them and you were still thinking about it, I highly, highly recommend them. Especially the one with the oil stain color in it. That's amazing. I applied that. What's that?
Look what I picked up today.
What did you pick up today? I can't. The people can't see it because. Okay, now I'm not presenting.
Okay.
All right. Hold on, Justin. Yeah, there we go. Rust and chipping effects. Look at that.
So it's an air set, so there we go.
By Vallejo.
I'm excited to try it out. Curious to see how it goes.
Well, dude, you got to get those Tamiya deals.
I did.
Did you? Nice.
He's got like all of them.
The oil stain color, man, it is great. It goes on just smooth as silk, and it just adds this nice tint to the paint and everything. Wow. Yeah, it's super nice.
An episode on weathering.
What's that?
We should do an episode on weathering if we haven't. I don't remember.
Yeah, we had Mike Wine on.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was there. Oh, shit.
Shout out to Mike Wine.
We should do some more of them. There's so much you can do with that.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah. And then we also had Jordan on. He was talking about weathering too.
I wasn't here for that one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I do remember with Mike. I was
gonna say. So
that was just a few months ago in the summer, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. After Mike got his he had his Justa diorama on there that he entered into GBWC last year, I think, or the year before, maybe. I think it was the year before. Anyway, I digress. All right, how's that pizza? Is it tasty?
It's very good.
Okay, rock and roll.
You need to make a shirt that says rock and roll on it. You say that a lot.
I do. It's a habit. Sorry.
I love it. I say cool beans.
Kind of is.
I don't want a shirt that says that now.
All right. There we go. Anyway. All right. So back to the news. Zach, what else we have in the news?
There's a couple new versions of the GNX, the Jinx 4.
Oh, from the Build Fighters deal.
Yeah, from Battlelog. One's a P Bandai and one's a just regular release. The P Bandai version, I guess, what people are saying is basically just the Jinx 4 version GBF. So I think maybe just like colors a little different or something, but it's basically that. They both look pretty cool. I guess let me show you here. What's the name of it?
That new one looks amazing. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's great
not
design.
Accelerate.
The one with the weird kind of helmet deal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
I want to find a picture, but I don't know if I can find it right away here. So anyway.
Looks a bit frame arms.
Yeah.
For
sure. Definitely doesn't look doesn't at first. I mean the one wearing the helmet, the standard release one, at first really doesn't look that much like a GNX.
It doesn't look like a Gundam at all. Like it looks like something from another series.
I like it.
I love it.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much it. Like I think, like I said before, I had to run out. There's the Master Grade GM Command.
Yes. I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Am I the only
a
one?
good canvas kit.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm as excited as I feel like I could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
I
for
like the
number
upper
200.
The Jim Can's legs.
Right.
Mm.
Cool. All right. So, hey, you know what? I saw something earlier today that I wanted to touch base on. So evidently there's a last GBWC leg here in the US in Hawaii.
Uh-huh.
I didn't even know about it. I thought New York
I think
Comicon was the last live event.
Next year.
What's that?
I think it's next year.
No, it's this year. Because there's a whole thing on it about the special guest judge. Did you guys see this on?
I thought the judge
Is that a Vampy Bit Me one?
Mhm.
Yeah. I thought it was this year.
Was that
Because I
yawn
saw
on
it.
purpose, Simon?
I saw it from Jordan's. Jordan posted it on his page and everything, and I saw it on there.
I have some special kind of feelings about it, but
Yeah, let's talk about that for just a second, because I kind of do too. I'm like, I get it why she's a guest judge.
we get it because we understand the inner workings of. To an extent, we understand the inner workings of this.
It's for 2018. I just pulled
Is
up her
it
Instagram real quick.
okay.
So yeah, it is next year, not this year.
Oh, okay. Well, still, I guess it's just like
It's still something worth talking about.
I don't know. I think it is.
Absolutely, it's bullshit.
That's pretty much it in a nutshell, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that kind of sums up my argument. All right, cool. Conversation over. Thanks, guys. See you next time on Gunpla Talk. No, I mean, it's just like, because I've seen a lot of people post about it and ask the question, why would they have a cosplayer as a Gunpla judge?
Mm.
And
I understand why they chose her.
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
Because she works closely with those companies already. It's probably just
That's
part of
it.
the contract.
Potentially, yeah. I mean,
She already
she
works.
snaps and everything like that, and that's cool and all. But it's just like, I don't get the guest judge spot.
Well, it is a modeling contest, right?
Yeah.
Hey.
If there was like a Gunpla cosplay contest and she was judging Super Fuminas, I wouldn't have a word to say about it.
Exactly.
But if I'm going to spend the better part of a year working on a kit, I want people who know these products in and out judging my build, not some random woman who makes costumes. And I'm not saying that automatically like disqualifies her, but she doesn't, like, she's involved in Gunpla, but she doesn't build Gunpla on the same level that the people that are competing do. I don't think it's fair for her to do.
She's never entered the competition before. I feel like it should be kind of some kind of prerequisite.
Yeah, I mean, those are fair points.
Yeah, makes sense.
I know she recently signed this contract where she's like a representation for Bam Presto. So I have a feeling it's just kind of tied into their attempt to pull more people interested in their products through cosplayers. Because let's face it, they have a lot of followers.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
I'm sure you don't want to be judged by it, but I mean, I don't know. To me, I think they're just using her name to get more people involved. Like, you really think her judge is going to make or break it?
Well, that's the other thing I was going to say is if she gets to judge like a category, if she ends up with like, oh, you win the special judge's prize, sure, whatever, that's fine. As long as her choice doesn't affect the final outcome for like best of show, that's where I would draw the line.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Mm.
I think that's fair. I mean, obviously, we're a year away, so anything can happen between now and then. But I just saw it on the good old Facebook today, and I thought it might be a good topic to kind of just touch on quickly here today. So,
Who said Facebook wasn't a news outlet?
What's that?
I said, who said Facebook wasn't a news outlet?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have known about it otherwise. I didn't even know there was going to be a GBWC in Hawaii.
You learned two things today.
I know, right? Always learning. Never stop learning, kids.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, moving on.
I'll just say my only interaction
okay.
with her was I think maybe I talked about this when this happened.
I remember this.
About the shirts.
Oh yeah, the
Stole your
shirt.
shirt design.
Yeah. Just just to, I guess, recap anyone who hasn't heard this story, it was just like someone, there was the shirts. I had these shirts that someone designed for a t-shirt design contest that I had a while back, and someone designed a Gunpla and Chill shirt. And, yeah. And so I had that shirt on my shop, and then like I guess later on she had some new shirts on her shop or something like that, and one of them was a Gunpla and Chill shirt, and someone retweeted it and like tagged me and said like, oh, it's like that shirt that ZakuAurelius had. And I said, oh, like something to the effect of, oh yeah, it's been in my shop for a while already. And she said like, oh, we already had the designs for this a long time ago, so actually we had it first. Like, okay.
Oh,
it's like really some like really defensive reply about that. So it's
all about that copyright, man. All about that copyright.
That's it.
Yeah. Anyway.
I had this design before Netflix even existed.
Yeah.
Right. Nice. All right. Good deal. So Zach, any other news or anything that we should be aware of?
Don't think so. Unicorn contest is wrapped, so thanks to you guys for helping.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that for just a few seconds. How did that go for those people that haven't seen the video?
Very good. Should I show the winners or something? You know, I can.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say show the custom winner. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Let me just pull that up. But yeah, it was almost 300 people entered. About 160 some finished, so it's quite a lot. And
yeah, I really intended to enter, but I didn't get far enough in time, and I realized I wasn't going to make it. So
that happened. A few people did let me know. Of course, like the majority of people who didn't finish, like I just never sent their finish entry. But quite a few people did like send me a message to let me know, like, hey, I won't finish in time. So just wanted to let you know. I was like, okay.
I don't want to admit it.
But yeah, here, let me get this. Custom. All right, here. Here we go. So this was the kind of the big winner, the winner of the custom category. It's kind of like the main right there. Yeah, color is really cool. I really like
too. The shield bits. Just
yeah,
took the shield and broke it down and put it on the ankles and backpack.
All the little, just making the fins of that, and like that's the thing. I think if you look at the work in progress, you kind of wonder like how well that's really going to work. But it looks natural. It doesn't look out of place at all. They don't look like they're just gonna like tacked on there. I think just fortunately, due to just the design of the Gundam itself, it's just got all these weird angles everywhere already anyway, especially in destroy mode. So like adding some more weird angles onto it doesn't look out of place.
Yeah, he is a busy kid.
And added some parts of the shield here around the skirt as well. All of that. So the shortened shield is cool. The D, that's basically just the D parts around the top half of the shield, I think, most part, or that'd be the bottom half.
I like the colors on this and the subtle kind of graduation on the shoulders and other areas. Really looks pretty well done to me.
What are the instructions? It's gonna break.
I like the changes to the rifle as well.
Oh yeah,
to be minimum. Add this little tank here at the back and change the barrel to a square shape.
That is pretty cool.
It looks like something like out of Victory Gundam. No, actually, the rifle does.
The other ones are probably
reminds me of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he is a part of Gunpla Builders Association.
Nice.
Too, as well.
Who is this by?
Josh Gonzalez.
Okay. Nice.
Yep. So yeah, that was cool. It was a good contest, and so usually, pretty much anytime you have any sort of contest, there's usually some backlash at the end of people saying, oh, this other kit should have won, or why did you choose that one, or something, or blah blah blah, whatever. Not that much this time, actually. It's just like one person. It's the only.
Awesome.
I really only got complaints from one person.
You're always gonna have one.
Yeah.
Always going to
so,
be that one.
Well, it'd be the fun if nobody said anything, you know.
yeah. Then I'd feel like, wait, did that video actually go out, or
Did you want to reply, or did you just not respond?
Yeah, I replied. We had a conversation. Maybe Justin can show you.
Did you
sent
work out
it
at least?
there. Yeah.
Good.
It worked out.
Oh, fun times.
He handled it better than I would.
Yeah.
I just would never replied. I'm terrible about that stuff.
I think, as Jim says, I'm probably too nice, but yeah, it worked out. And so the other question people usually ask is, when's the next contest? There's people that missed it, or like you, maybe just couldn't finish, or
And it's starting right now.
people who just want to know when's the next chance to win some free stuff. So I don't know when exactly. It should be pretty soon, but the next one will probably be like a photography or design contest, something like that, not a building contest. It'll be probably a little while before I do another building contest again.
Cool.
I'm gonna win this one, so y'all shouldn't even show up.
Yeah.
He's gonna enter pictures of his baby.
He's gonna have a picture of like a Gundam like crawling out of his beard.
Yeah. Shout out to the guy who had his Gundam. That was my vote.
Which one? What?
The guy with the Gundam on the dog. That was my vote.
That wasn't pretty cool. I like that a lot. What I had to do for like the Facebook album, putting all the pictures on Facebook, I had to choose one from each of the entries. Everyone sent like 5 photos or so, and so I just tried to choose like the best one for each one. But for his, like that, you could like barely see the kit in that picture, but I thought the picture was much better anyway. Just
I thought it
was funny. Yeah, that made it a much more interesting photo, I think. So I hope he was okay with that. Me choosing that one for the Facebook album. I think it probably ended up getting more votes because of the dog, I'm sure.
Definitely.
You know what you should do, Zach? Somebody had just said this in the chat. You should have a cosplay contest.
No.
Whoever can dress up like Vampy Bit Me the best wins.
Oh boy. On that note.
Oh my god.
Anyway, moving on. Well, thank you, Zach. Appreciate the news and all of the good stuff about the contest and everything. So awesome. And all right, so let's get into the conversation here, boys. Let's talk about scribing and design and theory and all that fun stuff. Unfortunately, like you guys have seen, Zach, or listen to me, Josh could not be with us today because he's in Dubai, guys.
How dare he?
I know, right? Freaking Dubai, being flown out there free of charge, hobnobbing with the locals and stuff. So, you know, good for him. He's out there, I think, judging the Otaku ME contest, I believe is the name. I forget totally. But yeah, they flew him out there. He's the guest judge. And from what he says in our chat, he's having a pretty good time. And I think he's told us about the warehouse. Oh, there's Noah. We have a Noah sighting, people.
Just kind of wanders
He can't make his way through the mess.
I know, right? It's almost like that video of that British guy on the news where the little baby came in.
Yeah.
And his wife storms in and tries to drag it out.
Just yanks him out.
Yeah. It's almost like that.
Any minute she's gonna run in here and pull him out. No, you need a tissue.
Awesome. Anyways, so Josh is in Dubai, living it up. And there's Noah. Noah's saying hi to everybody. Awesome.
He's got a runny nose.
Uh-oh.
Gotcha.
All right, so Well, I wish he was here today because he has a lot of insight on design theory and panel lines and all that good stuff here. So we're going to try to do the best we can here, talking about design and all that good stuff. So if you guys aren't lucky enough to be on the East Coast of the U.S. and you weren't here back a few weeks ago, Justin and I had a class at the Gundam Kitchen. Shouts out to them. And we talked about this very thing. We talked about scribing and things like that. And we talked about, you know, design and theory and stuff. And, you know, I think the class went really well. We're going to have a next one here on the 18th. So FYI, more news will be coming out about that very soon. But in terms of scribing and theory, you know, there were a couple things that we talked about during the class that I think really kind of hit home with people and made people kind of sit up and, you know, take a second look at things. So
I was going to say that watching you work really opened. I just seeing the way you worked really just changed the way that I even thought about panel lines. So when I actually get down to business and I start scribing, I'm going to take a whole new approach to it.
Well, thank you, man.
Man. You're an artist.
Well, I'll make sure that check's in the mail, by the way. So a couple of things that I thought that were really, really important, you know, say, for instance, and this is the exact piece that I used. It's just a Zaku F2 leg, just a scrap piece, just out of the parts bin that I have here at the house. You know, one of the things that I like to do, and you don't have to do this, but this is just kind of my own personal workflow, is I look at the piece itself. And then what I do is I kind of strip off the armor here and look at what's underneath. Now, with most modern master grades, perfect grades, real grades, things like that, most of them have a bit of detail or full detail underneath the armor, the inner frame. So with this one, it has a surprising amount of inner detail frame. Especially right behind the knee. And it may be a little difficult there for you guys to see that, but right behind the knee are hydraulics. So if you think in terms of what mechanics, the people that would work on these things in real life would have to do to get to those types of systems, they would need an access panel, just like the hood of a car, trying to get into the engine, and you know, things like that. In a car is kind of a perfect comparison, because a car is made up of panels. It's made up of body panels. It's made up of your front quarter panels, your back quarter panels, you know, your doors, etc., etc. So to get to the critical systems within that car, you need access to them. So again, like I said, the hood gives you access to the engine. The quarter panels, if you take those off, give you access to more systems, you know, near the wheel and shocks and things like that. So it's the same thing with mobile suits. If there is a critical system that mechanics would need to get to, it would be logical that there might be a panel there. So, like I said in the class, have a panel there for the hydraulics and things. So for other systems and things too, you know, you can be a little bit creative. You know, you can kind of take an artistic license. It's not necessarily set in stone, but you know, one of my own personal mantras is kind of let the inner frame kind of guide you in terms of what panels should be there. So smart mechanical design is kind of the idea for that. Now on the back of the Zaku leg, And I did a whole kind of design demo on this in the class, and it was really, I think it kind of went over very well, especially from what Justin said. So on the back of the leg, you know, on this big bulbous calf area, you would imagine that there are probably systems back there that you would need to get to. Hydraulics, propulsion, mechanics, things of that nature. So, you know, we came up, or I came up with, you know, the thought of kind of having, you know, double doors on the back there. And obviously part of this is already erased off, you know, just in working with it. But I had the whole system, you know, back here, and you can see half of it. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know if it's focused or not. But yeah, so it looks pretty decent on camera. So, you know, imagine double doors back there for people, mechanics especially, to get into those critical systems. These sub panels would essentially be, you know, your primary access points, and then obviously the rest of the armor could be removed to have access to all the other lesser subsystems. So think about that for a second. Let the mechanics guide you in terms of what panels should be present. You know, and most kits nowadays are blank canvases. One of the most perfect examples of this is the Master Grade Justa. This thing has so many blank surfaces that just begs for detail, that it's honestly one of the more perfect test beds if you wanted to try scribing. It's also a rock solid kit, and it's inexpensive. So if you don't have a Master Grade Justa, I highly recommend you picking one of these up. Christmas is right around the corner, by the way, so put that on your Christmas list. But again, you know, you look at these things, especially the Justa here, and you know, you can imagine critical systems for the working of this, you know, mech all over the place. You know, heating, cooling, power, things of that nature. Think like an engineer. That was basically kind of the gist of our design class and things. So that's one way of thinking about panel lines. Guys, do you guys have any input? You guys have any theories of your own?
There's obvious style differences. You know, some panel lines don't necessarily reflect mechanical detail. It's more of a, you know, it looks cool kind of thing.
Definitely.
Just study what's out there. Look at what other people have done, and you know, see if it's what you're looking for, and then build from that.
Good point.
I think Tim's approach is very Hajime Kotoki. It's quite real world orientated.
Yeah, and I would make no bones about that. I am definitely a Kotoki fan, and I like the realistic look of mechanics and things like that. And you know, I try to put some thought into how these would react in real case circumstances as real life military platforms. So if you like that style, you know, those are some ideas to think about in terms of design. But like the guys have touched on, that's not the only way. It's just a way.
It might suit one design more than another, of course. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, if you think about something that has more expression or artistic look, almost like Cubely is a perfect example. I mean, it's got these sweeping curves and these really exaggerated sharp points, especially like in the toes and the fingers and things like that. maybe a realistic mechanical look may not necessarily look good on a cubely. It may not.
You want to match that sweeping style across the board.
Yeah. I mean, it really all comes down to the aesthetic that you want to achieve. And I think that's really going to be the biggest thing, because a lot of people ask, you know, how do I get started in scribing? How do I get started in scribing? Well, you have to pick an aesthetic that you like, and you have to kind of research it and go with it. So, good question. So Dave Burton in our chat just asked how does scribing work on a curvy kit? Great question. Well, Dave, there's a few different ways to tackle that. This right here, Dymo tape, is going to be your best friend. If you're not familiar with Dymo tape, and I know we touched on this last time that we were talking about scribing, Dymo tape for embossing label makers. Make sure you get the right type too, because there are two kinds. There's the embossing type, and then there is the printing type. The printing type of Dymo tape is much thinner than this. You want the embossing type. But this works as a guide. It's nice and thick, but also still flexible, and you can use this on curves and things like that and contort it to many different shapes. Very, very good stuff. Templates, circle templates, curves. Hasegawa has an excellent line of templates called the Tri-Tool series. Those are all basically photo etch thin pieces of metal with different shapes cut out. And those are excellent for scribing different shapes and things of that nature. So,
is that a look?
There we go.
And they can,
yeah, Simon.
No, very handy.
And since they're so thin, they can bend around curves.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, so those are all ways that you can scribe on a curved surface. You know, on the Aussie that I just finished, the head has a kind of teardrop scribe in the top, and I achieved that just by using a circle template, just a plastic circle template used for drafting. I use circle templates quite a lot, actually. They come in very, very handy, especially for masking off circular areas too. So if you don't have circle templates, they're a few dollars. Go get yourself one. It's a good investment. So there we go. Now, one of the things that we wanted to talk about last time was, and I know Justin had wanted us to talk about this, was duplication of panel lines across different parts. Justin, did you want to talk about that, or did you just want information on it?
Oh, I think I'm good on that one. I think you might have me confused with somebody else.
I think maybe that was just something that people were talking about in the chat, maybe.
Were you? All right. I thought it was in our chat, but I could be wrong. But anyway, we're going to talk about it. So there we go.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we talked about at the class was this guy right here. This is the Chopper 2 by Northwest Shortline. And it's primarily used for cutting plastic strip and small sheets and things. But this tool comes in extremely, extremely handy with cutting Dymo tape, believe it or not.
Once again, seeing you do that blew my mind.
What's that?
See, watching you do that, I was like, I've never even thought of doing that.
Yeah, well, I don't think
such a good idea.
I don't think most people have, surprisingly. And it just kind of came to me one day, back several years ago after I got this thing, that, the Dymo tape is just essentially plastic strip. Why not cut it? See what happens, right? So I cut it and it worked flawlessly. With this, you can get exact lengths, exact thicknesses of tape. You can miter the corners of pieces of tape. And basically what I do is, instead of taping around the panel lines most of the time, I will create a stencil out of Dymo tape using the chopper too. So if I refer back here, and I don't honestly know if this is going to get picked up on camera or not, but we're going to give it a shot.
Panel on it.
Yeah, well, it's a little late now. So let's see. I'm waiting. Is that even in focus?
Put your hand behind it.
Ah,
Yeah.
all right. Hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Need to do the hand trick here. All right. So that right there. Come on, focus. Damn it. All right. So we're not having the best luck with the autofocus here. But anyway, so right here is what I'm talking about. There is a panel that goes around here in kind of a decently, and no matter what I do, you can't see it. So screw it. We're not even going to try that. So I made a stencil using Dymo tape. And what I did, this will probably be a little bit easier, is I basically cut a piece like that and scribed around the piece rather than having pieces cut out to outline the shape. And it works perfectly. It works flawlessly. And I've been using that for many years. And I don't know why more people don't do that. Because it's actually a really awesome technique. What's that?
Nobody thinks about Dymo tape as plastic.
I know, right? What's up with that? Come on, people.
I did that.
Come on.
I did that actually a little bit on the Mega Size Zaku.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Basically.
How did it work?
Yeah. Well, it's a lot easier than putting more than one piece of tape down and just put down one piece. Yeah,
exactly. And that's the thing. It's like if you layer pieces of tape over top of one another, especially on curved surfaces, it will become harder to scribe as you go along, because those pieces will start to stack and stack and stack. And then especially in the corners, they don't especially want to stick, especially the pieces of tape stacked on top of other pieces. So it's not necessarily as accurate. I find using one piece as a stencil a lot more accurate than outlining a shape and doing it that way. So again, guys, Chopper 2, Northwest Short Line. If you don't have it, go buy it. It's a good tool. You can use it for a lot more than just cutting Dymo tape too. If you're into customizing and things like that, or even want to think about getting into it, this is well worth the money. It's like, what, $35 or so. You can get it on places like Amazon and a lot of other places. A lot of places internationally sell these things. I know the guys over at HobbyMate sell these things on their website. This is a universal tool that you can get a lot of places. If you're in New Jersey, Gundam Kitchen sells these. IRAD has these in stock, I believe, right now. Well worth the money. I can't say that enough. And I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I'm just saying it's an awesome tool.
I was just going to say, I should mention that this video is not sponsored by Northwest Shoreline.
Yeah, right. Or Dymo or Tamiya weathering powders or anything like that. So that's what I use to make stencils and things like that. Now, another method of duplicating shapes, especially if it's really not cohesive to making a stencil, use Scotch tape, the frosted kind that has, kind of a satin feel on top of it. Draw your lines on the piece, lightly sand the piece, draw your lines, slap a piece of Scotch tape down there, redraw those on the Scotch tape, and then slap it on that other piece, and then you can pretty much duplicate a design excuse me, on 2 pieces. Now, the tough part is mirroring a design. That's difficult. Yeah, and that's hard even for me.
I've seen a couple different methods for it.
Yeah, there's a few. What do you like to do, Justin?
The few times I've done it, one way is to I've seen people take like a piece of masking tape after they've scribed the original line, and they'll kind of dot the corners of all their scribes, and then they'll like sort of make a template from the dots and then flip it over, and you can use it that way. I've also taken like little, like when you do a lot of plow plate stuff, you end up with little scraps. You can sort of trace it onto that scrap and make a physical template. I've seen that done. I don't think that works quite as well because it's a little flimsy, but once you get it affixed down where you want it, you can easily just draw a line on there and trace it that way.
Yeah, definitely.
The other way is kind of the cop-out way is to scribe from reference points.
There you go. Yep.
So that's kind of the pigeonhole I'm stuck in now is like when I scribe, I tend not to scribe too far away from reference points so that I always have like a good go-to if something goes wrong.
Right. Actually, I use that quite a lot, that technique, the reference points technique. I use that a lot of the time. So it's definitely not a cop-out, dude. Don't feel like it is. So for those of you at home, what Justin is talking about is, and it might be easier to look at the Gesta here, to use what are called reference points on the model that you can kind of take measurements off of. So for instance, if you look at the foot here, say you wanted to make a parallel line on this.
I think I actually scribed my Gesta like you're about to talk about.
Oh, really? Hey, great minds, right? So there you go. So say you wanted to make a parallel line to this particular ankle armor right here, right? So what you could do is on this corresponding angle, and I'll try to get closer to the camera here so you guys can see what the hell I'm talking about. Oh, there we go. Now it wants to focus. Perfect. Go figure, right? So
I've got mine.
Oh yeah. Here, give Justin the screen there, Zach.
Okay.
It was like the first thing I ever scribed.
There you go, Justin. Show it again.
You see, like what I did was where it goes straight.
Yeah, there you go.
Drew a line straight across.
Yeah.
And then I kind of found like a midpoint up here somewhere.
Okay.
And then drew another line that bisected it. And then I just scribed where they met in the middle.
Nice.
And then I did the same thing for the flip side.
Yeah, no, that works well. Very cool.
It worked.
Easy peasy, right?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so let me show you. Sorry, what's that?
I said I didn't have to measure a whole lot.
There you go. Well, I'm going to show you something, another method here that I use too, similar to that, but a little bit on different side. So here, let me get that screen back from you, Zach. Oh, there's his breakfast. Zach's breakfast. What's for breakfast, Zach?
Hang on. Yeah. A little breakfast delivery. Yeah.
Hey, it's cool, man. Justin had dinner. You can have breakfast. It's all good.
I said to present, but it says you're presenting, but I'm still seeing Justin. So.
Oh God! Not
again. Did he get stuck?
So I got to drop out.
He probably got stuck.
Did he get stuck on you last time? Who was it that was stuck on that?
No, it got stuck on me last time. We almost did the whole show of just my grill.
Let me bump out real quick. I'll come back.
All right, cool. Yeah, that seemed to work last time. All right, now are you seeing me?
Yeah. Hopefully it should be. All good.
All right, rock and roll. All right, so for those of you at home, hopefully seeing this, and let's see. Okay, cool. Now I can see my video on the feed. All right, so say you want to make a panel line parallel to this angle here on this ankle armor, right? So what I do sometimes, and here, let me take off the foot to hopefully show you a little bit easier here rather than holding the whole damn model. Okay, so what I do is on this surface here, measure maybe 2 millimeters over, make a point right there. And then on this angle here, measure up, say 2 millimeters. And it could be anything, any measurement that you want, right? Connect those 2 points, and then you have a perfectly straight panel line. Now, it may not necessarily be exactly parallel to this surface, but if you do a little bit of measuring and things, you'll get it pretty damn close. So those are kind of using reference points, and you can use other reference points. You don't have to measure off the side of different surfaces and things like that. You can measure, say from, I don't know, the corner or something like that, or a surface detail on the model itself. Those are all reference points that you can use to correspond and duplicate panel lines on 2 different parts, or even mirror them too, will work perfectly.
Hey, Tim, just
yes, sir.
Pop in a question there. Just
yes.
In terms of measuring stuff, you maybe want to talk about what tools people might use. I mean, obviously, aside from just a ruler, but other tools that might be available for measuring. I know Jim likes using his caliper. I don't know if you guys also use a caliper, or how often you use that,
are invaluable.
Yeah, calipers are really useful. Is a useful tool, especially when you're getting into customizing and things like that. And for panel lines, they're really, really useful, especially on bigger panels that you can't use Dymo tape, like a stenciling method or something like that. Those are really valuable to measure widths and lengths and things. A digital caliper, and you don't need something for machining or something that's insanely accurate. Those will run you a couple $100. You know, a cheap Harbor Freight $10 digital caliper will be more than enough for modeling purposes. So you don't have to spend a lot of money. I think mine was like $10, something like that. And you can easily find watch batteries for it. So yeah. So get yourself a digital caliper if you're getting into customizing. Very, very useful. Another tool that I really like to use, Wave makes 2 sizes of T-squares. They're basically metal rulers shaped like a T. And they come in very, very handy. Not only is it small enough to use on models, they're in millimeters. It's also a nice right angle, so you can use that to cut little pieces if you don't want to pull out the chopper too or something like that. Extremely, extremely useful. I use that tool almost on a daily basis when I'm kind of customizing and things.
This I'll just show mine.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Mine's from.
Oh, look at that, Mr.
GSI.
Yeah, I didn't know they made one too.
But I'm sure this was. I don't remember what I paid for it, but it was expensive. It was way more expensive than compared to how much I actually use it. I really don't use it that much.
Oh really?
Just because I'm not doing as much kind of stuff like you're doing there.
Gotcha.
I think I've also shown this on video and talked about this too. This Tamiya caliper too, also overpriced. Don't buy this either. It's nice and it's really nice, but it's not digital, which isn't really. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. But it's just really overpriced for what it is. Like Tim's saying, just gets like around the $10 range.
Yeah, it's that name brand that you're paying for, brother.
Yeah, because I was in Japan at the time, so that's as cheap as you're gonna get it directly in Japan.
Yeah,
but for what it is, there's plenty of other better priced options.
Definitely.
For sure.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the Wave T squares, they come in two sizes, one small and one larger. And they're relatively decently priced. I think the smaller one I got for around $10 off of Hobby Search, and the bigger one I was able to get while I was in Japan last year, and I think that was around 18. But that was the yen price, so obviously it would be more if you're outside of Japan and needing it from trying to get it from a website or something like that.
Hobbylink in Japan probably has it.
Yeah, Hobbylink, Hobby Wave, Ami, all those sites that cater. So yeah, I wonder if USA Gundam has those. You should talk to them, Zach.
They have some tools, yeah, but I don't know about that.
Gotcha. Well, hey, USA Gundam. Get yourself on the Wave T Square bandwagon there.
I don't know if Adam. I haven't been watching the chat. I don't know if Adam is in there. He said that he was going to try to watch the show.
Okay, cool. Well, Adam, if you're watching, what's up? Anyways, what were we talking about before? Panel lines, right? Okay, so some other methods of duplicating parts. Or panel lines, I should say. And Justin talked about using a plastic stencil, basically using a very thin sheet of plastic, 0.3, 0.5, to make a plastic stencil, similar to the Dymo tape stencil, but obviously you can achieve much larger shapes and surfaces and things like that. I've done that plenty of times in the past too. I've made, little plastic jigs that have a stencil on it so I could duplicate certain features, especially when it comes to drilling holes on corresponding surfaces. That's a huge thing that I always like to do, and it gets you really, really accurate pinpoints and things like that. Another method that I like to use, especially when it comes back to Dymo tape, what you can do if you're making a stencil, cut your piece of Dymo tape, form it to the shape that your stencil is in, or the shape that you want, I should say. And then once you're done with that piece of Dymo tape, cut another piece about the same size and tape it to the backside of that new piece of Dymo tape. And then what you do is just trim around the first piece, and now you have a perfectly mirrored piece of Dymo tape fresh to go. So that's another way of mirroring stencils with Dymo tape. So it works very, very well. It's very, very accurate, and it's super easy. So there you go. So Dymo tape, stencil, mirroring, and all that fun stuff. Let's see. What else? What else can we talk about? What else did we touch on in the class, Justin? Do you remember?
I don't know if we talked about this in the last episode. I don't think we did, but it's related to theory about the 3 lines.
Oh, yes.
Theory,
Good.
All of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that honestly falls more into plating and panels, but it definitely comes into play with panel lines too. So for you guys out there that know Ifin of Blue Black Studios, he's won GBWC, I believe at least once. He may have won several times, but I think he was really the first. Oh yeah, there you go, Simon. And Justin. Yeah, the author of Scratch Build Revolution. You can get it at USA Gundam Store. He wrote that book, and he coined the kind of the idea of the 3-line rule. And like I said, it comes more in terms of panels for plating and stuff like that. Plot plating, as a lot of people like to say. Excuse me. But basically, the theory is that the 3 lines don't make acute angles. They only make obtuse or 90-degree angles. Same thing with panel lines and, that kind of aesthetic theory. Now, obviously, in real world, that may not necessarily hold true, but in modeling, there's an aesthetic component to everything that we do. So we do have to kind of keep that in mind. Excuse me. So the 3-line rule is really, really important when it comes to panel lines as well. So that's why I like to, miter corners on certain panels and things like that. So that's a really good aesthetic principle to keep in mind. So if you haven't gotten that book, Scratch Build Revolution, I highly recommend it. It's well worth the price. I know that a lot of people have gotten a ton of good information out of it. Ifan is really, really good at what he does. He holds, or at least he used to hold, seminars and things like that. I haven't seen too much of what he does nowadays, but hopefully he still does that. Really, really good aesthetic principles. So thank you for bringing that up, Zach. That's a really good call. So one of the people in the chat wanted to address how to match up panel lines in corners and things, and that's a great question. Like the when it reaches a corner of a piece, the best thing that you can do is scribe one side of the panel on one side of the piece. And then using the reference points, transfer those on the other side of the piece. So if a panel line is coming off this side of a piece, put your Dymo tape to match that scribe, and then it measures right down the other side of the piece. So very good question. Very good question. Now, what happens if it's an inside corner? Well, same principle, really. If you're using Dymo tape, measure that down. And the good thing is that you can keep the tape on there when you go to attach the corresponding piece on the other surface. So, what's so damn funny, Justin?
I don't know.
What? Am I rambling? I feel like I'm rambling. Yeah?
No, I asked him.
Oh, okay. Saw you guys laughing there for a second. I thought it was me. I feel like I'm rambling.
I was messing.
What's that?
No.
Huh?
He
No?
said.
Just
he
me?
said
I was just messing.
Justin.
Oh, rock and roll.
Sorry.
Fair enough. Anyway. So yeah. So that's fun. All right. So 40 minutes left. What else should we talk about?
Yeah, I don't know. I think. I feel like there was something else that we worked with about, like some other topic related to that scribing theory that we had talked about previously, but it's been like 2 months
Yeah,
since we were
a couple months.
really talking about this. So
yeah.
What about plating as well as scribing? Was that a whole other different thing?
I mean, plating, does share a lot of crossover with, panel line theory. But instead of revealing something, in my estimation, plating is more about hiding something or armoring something.
Covering a seam line, maybe, or.
I mean, in terms of modeling, yeah, I was talking about more in terms of real life mechanics. Yeah,
Okay,
well, and aesthetics too. Yeah.
Your seam lines, you're wrong.
What's that?
No, she never do that.
I do that all the time. Shut up.
Everybody does that.
If you trick like a weird seam, if you have like a weird seam and you use like a piece of plate to cover it up, that's one thing. But if you're actively avoiding seam removing your kit by putting plot plate on it,
oh yeah,
Yeah, that's wrong.
you take it to that next level.
you just have strip all over your freaking model and everything.
I mean, when we actually have our bad model build off, I've got so many ideas for the worst model kit that I could possibly imagine. You're going down.
The bad
It's
model.
going to be a complete travesty by the time I'm finished.
I think
100%.
that when we actually do this, people are going to lose all kinds of respect for us.
Yeah, for real.
Probably.
We were supposed to have so many damn model build-offs. It's not even funny, you know.
This is true.
But this one,
Start bashing them together.
This one is guaranteed to be pure fun.
Yeah,
That's
right. Who can build the worst model? All right,
I look forward
I
There.
feel like you have to try
I'm
harder.
done.
To do that.
What's that?
I feel like you have to try harder to build a bad model.
That's it.
Yeah,
I think
that's
you have
a
to be
fair
quite
point.
creative.
Yeah,
Because
no,
everything
that's
else,
actually a fair
everything else
point.
is going to become second nature.
That's it.
He's got a point. He's not lying.
It
He's
is
not
gonna.
wrong.
It is gonna come down to your creativity with it, eh?
Yeah,
That's it.
and you have to battle your instincts
Right.
of what looks good too. You know.
I'm just going to dip it in some like wall paint or something. Just dip the whole thing.
Some craft paint.
That's it. Or just sort of
Oh,
splash
man.
it on.
Simon, did you happen to catch the $10 unicorn deal?
I didn't. No. I did miss that.
That would have been perfect.
It's a Phoenix, isn't it?
It was the PG Phoenix knockoff.
Yeah. $10.
$10. That would have been the
My
best.
God. And the cheapest.
Right?
Justin, you didn't order one?
I did. It's on its way.
I did. Are they
How
all
many
gone?
did you order?
I'm probably going to use it for a contest prize or something. But if Simon
Nice.
bought one, I would totally do a build off with him.
How many of those did you buy though?
I only bought one. I decided to be responsible because I don't have a ton of space, and I knew I wasn't going to build it.
Yeah, but you have shelves now.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, you're right. I got some cool shelves going on.
Got some
In case anybody
shelves
doesn't-
now. Nice. All right, so sorry, Zach. It looked like you were about to say something.
Yeah. Dave was also asking in the chats about about how deep the panel lines should be.
Oh, that's actually a really good question.
That's a good question.
That can throw your game.
Yeah, deeper than what's there, but not as deep as the plastic is thick.
You really only need it deep enough to be able to make sure you catch the ink or paint or whatever you're using in it, and then
Yeah, you don't
not be gone.
Don't
Yeah,
wanna,
realistically.
you don't want to pass one time, but add a little bit of depth to it.
Yeah. I mean, I think for the most part, you do kind of build up a feel for it. You know when it's getting too deep. One thing that I always like to do is if I'm scribing like completely new lines, I'll hold the underside of it up to a really bright light, and you can tell that the scribe is obviously going to be lighter than the surrounding plastic. But if it's like getting really light, then you should probably stop at that point.
It's good too.
Yeah, I mean, Bandai plastic is usually anywhere from 0.7 to 1 millimeter thick, depending on the piece. So at that point, I would go 0.2, 0.3 millimeter deep. Now, obviously, you're not going to be able to measure that with any, certainty, but you can eyeball it and kind of get a feel for it. There's always going to be times when you go too deep and you kind of blow out one side. It happens to everybody. It still happens to me even today. Hell, it happened on the Aussie a couple times, and I had to go back and fix it. But you get a feel for it. So
I guess that's a good lead-in question. How do you fix?
I know somebody's going to ask that.
How do you fix panel lines? That is a good question.
If you mess up the scribe.
Yeah.
I'm saying nothing.
No, and you know it's funny, when we did the class, somebody had actually asked that question as well. I mean, there's a few different methods. You know, if it's just kind of blowing out a corner or something like that, you know, just really a small you know, type of mess up, you can use Tamiya white putty. That's really, really good. If it's if you're not happy with it at all and you want to completely cover it, I would probably use something a little bit stronger, like epoxy putty. But you could get away with normal seam filling putty as well. You know, for me, if you're going to use epoxy putty for the an entire piece, it better mimics the density of the plastic. So when you go to paint it and prime it and everything, there's going to be a lesser chance of you seeing a discrepancy in the surface. That's basically my reasoning for using epoxy putty for larger fill up jobs. But you know, just for a little blowout or something like that, yeah, you can use Tamiya white seam filling putty. It works wonders. I do that all the time. So it's a very good question too, by the way. Very good question. One person said super glue and baby powder. I've used that and it works. It works great. Yeah. It's much harder than the plastic. So to sand it down and even it up, you do have to use a little bit more force. Is that Aubrey?
Yeah. Come here.
I thought I heard a.
No, the noise was.
Oh, look, there she is.
Look, say hi.
Her belly's showing a little there.
Hi, Aubrey. Hi.
Hello, Aubrey.
No.
Hello.
She got one for you.
Oh, there she is.
Not a small thing.
Adorable.
She tried.
Nice. So yeah, MVC Freak 88 was the one that suggested the super glue and baby powder. And David Leva asked, does it smell nice too? It does smell nice. It's baby powder, so yeah, it smells quite nice. I highly recommend it over any other disgusting smells that come with glue and lacquer based products. So yeah, it's very good stuff. But no, I've definitely used super glue and baby powder for a lot of different things. And I will usually save that for larger, flatter surfaces. For basically purposes that I need it to get into all the little nooks and crannies, simply because the super glue is a lot more viscous than putties are, obviously. And then I just kind of sprinkle the baby powder over top of that to give it substance. So yeah, definitely a good call. Definitely a good call. All right. Any other questions here that we got in the chat or anything? Because I'm kind of running low on ideas for scribing, to be honest with you. Sorry. Thought it would take longer.
Yeah, not a whole lot much more else I guess we can say about scribing, unless someone has any more specific since you're talking about fixing it, I think I don't know if you I don't think you mentioned this, but if you scribe too deep and end up going completely through the part, I think just putting some putty on the back of the part, I think, would be the best way to.
I think that's what
yeah, I mean, that's one way. Yeah, and that would definitely work. You may have to clean up the putty that comes through the hole. Sometimes what I do is just glue on a really thin sheet of plastic on the back side of the piece, if there's room. A lot of times there's not under panels. So it really kind of depends on the part, you know. So it's going to depend on the circumstance and all.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know, one of the things that we should probably think about here is Christmas. And obviously it's out of left field, but usually we do kind of a gift giving guide every November. I think this is probably going to be our only show in November because I think most of our schedules are going to be screwed for the rest of the month, especially giving Thanksgiving and stuff like that. So we could always talk about, you know, gift giving and stuff like that if you guys wanted to. We got about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Down for that?
Get this.
So,
it's a good gift.
Yeah, there's that.
Combat 2.
Oh, is that the one by Mig?
It's the Mecha Battlegrounds 2. And it goes over in great detail some weathered works by some pretty famous modelers like Oishi.
Yeah, I was gonna say Oishi probably has one in there. Calamity, Lucas Z, he probably has a bunch of stuff in there.
Using the first.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. I mean, this one here goes over how to do some nice glossy paintwork.
Oh, nice.
Candy coating.
So it's not just about weathering. It's about all kinds of different techniques.
Cool. Hey, Zach, give Simon the screen if you would.
Sure,
yeah. There's another example here. Just a pat labor and how they went through the process of weathering that up.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. And they show the finished product and how to make small dioramas, that kind of thing. And it recommends, obviously it recommends a lot of MIG paints, obviously, because it's by MIG. But I mean, there's other products in here, so it's not entirely a marketing ploy.
Right.
You see some Alclads here and stuff. So.
Yeah. I doubt that they would be recommending Vallejo stuff anytime soon.
Yeah. Here's the model by Oishi. And he goes over how to do color modulation using enamels here.
Oh, cool.
And it's just a very nice kind of flick through book that teaches you quite a wide range of techniques. So
nice.
That's a good Christmas gift for you right there.
Very cool. What's the price point on that, Simon?
I don't know. I mean, it cost me, I think, it was about £20.
Okay. So that's probably about $25 US.
Yeah, probably about that.
Okay. Yeah. That's actually a pretty good price for a book that size.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I was quite surprised. It's normally quite expensive, but
yeah.
I think you can get it. Just go to migjimenez.com.
Right. I'm sure you can get that on some other hobby sites and stuff too. I think doesn't USA Gundam have that?
$32 on right now. Free shipping.
Where's that?
Amazon has it for $32 free shipping right now.
Oh, cool.
Oh, there you go.
Sweet.
You might find it cheaper.
No, I love me some Amazon.
Hell yeah.
Good stuff. Hell yeah. Cool. Any other suggestions for gift giving, Simon? I will get to you. Justin, sorry, buddy.
Oh, I thought you meant just in general.
Oh, yeah, well, we'll move on. Hang on a second.
I can't think of anything else.
Nothing else?
Right now.
Okay, fair enough. Rock and roll. Maybe, all right, Justin, what were you going to say?
I was going to say that Simon still got the screen share.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've still got screen share.
I was going to say that none of y'all need no new kits. Nobody.
Yeah.
Because y'all bought kits all year. So stop buying kits and buy some tools.
Yes.
This is the perfect time to ask for tools because you don't got to pay for it. So tell your mom, that you want an airbrush, and you need a pair of God hands, and you know,
on your list
really
of Santa.
that just don't buy any kits
You don't even have God hands.
because God hands are trash.
Wow.
Because everybody else wants them. Look, I've been using the same pair of Tamiya's Type A sharp flat side cutters for like 5 years.
Same.
It's the best pair of cutters I've ever owned.
I have
Never
to
change.
agree.
I use straight up garden shears. Don't play.
Buy lots and lots of tools and books.
Yeah, tools and books are you can't beat them. So go
And
out and get
option
yourself.
parts. If you're gonna buy plastic,
too.
option parts.
What's that?
If you're gonna buy plastic, get option parts.
There you go.
Mm,
That's a good
that's
call.
good. That's a good call. Yeah.
Like that big giant hand that you got.
Got 2 of them.
Yeah, you got 2 of them. Yeah.
I have gotten some really neat ideas for those.
I got the giant arms to go with the giant hands. Turns out I grabbed the wrong box. I have the legs. Legs don't go on hands. So,
Nice.
yeah, so now I can get the arms.
All right, so a good question here from Scuffle in the chat. Is there a way to do etching like they do on metal, except on plastic? Now, the way I read this is, can you achieve the same level of detail on plastic like they do on some photo etch parts?
Probably not.
No.
Yeah, there's no way. Because
unless you're Joshua Darrow.
Or I was gonna say, or unless you're Japanese.
wow, yeah.
Or an ant.
Photo etch parts are the process of designing photo etch parts is much more intricate. Basically, in a nutshell, people design the finished design in like a CAD program or Adobe Illustrator or something like that they can get really, really fine detail. And then they make photoresist templates that will eventually etch into the metal. So chemical, and he just followed up like chemical etching. No, not with plastic. Plastic is so much more sensitive to chemicals and things as opposed to metal. It's just, unfortunately, it's just not possible. So yeah, unfortunately, no, dude. There's no way to achieve that same level of detail in plastic easily as you would in a photo etch part. Sorry.
So you just
If you
use
want to lose
photo etch
detail,
parts.
you can go ahead and do something like that. But if you want to get more, you're probably not gonna want to soak it in anything.
Hey, speaking of on photo etch parts, though, someone was recently asking me what's the proper way to put on photo etch parts, like glue photo etch parts to your kit. What do you
Super
guys?
glue.
Just super glue.
It depends on when and how you apply it. Usually super glue before like you start painting.
Yeah.
Is what I've. But some people like to put it on after, like, because some people don't paint their photo etch.
Yeah, which is
They like
weird.
that. Like I was kind of like that for a while, but then someone was like, nobody ever. John was like, I really like photo etch parts, but nobody ever paints them. And I was like, painting photo etch, that's a good idea. So, you know.
Yeah, but like in my mind, like, why wouldn't you paint that? You know what I mean?
I know Henry did photo etch parts on his GWC entry this year. Or no, it was the Narrow he did.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
He used white glue. He just used white glue because it dried clear, and he put them on like the undersides of skirts and stuff like that. So white glue or super glue, probably, depending on whether or not you're painting first or last.
White glue? You mean like Elmer's glue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, tons of uses for that stuff.
Mm.
But obviously, I think super glue would hold more. So you got to be careful with if you're using white glue. So
yeah.
If it's like something like inside some recessed area, that's probably never going to be touched or anything like that. Like, even while you're handling the kit, you'd probably be safe, right?
Yeah.
I think that the big draw to Elmer's glue over super glue is you don't get that fogging though. But they've got a lot of glues now that don't do that.
I mean, if you're using a ton of glue, yeah, you might get a little fogging. But if it's just on the backside of it, you know, and you're using it kind of like a normal person, you wouldn't get much fogging, you know. Flood the area with super glue. Nice.
Staple.
Yeah. Oh, he says, could I use a laser machine, like a laser engraver? Again, no, because the laser. I used to have a laser machine for work, and it will melt styrene before it etches it. The styrene is too soft and too low a density for the laser. The laser just is way too hot. It will melt it before it vaporizes it. So unfortunately, no, not with styrene. You will not be able to laser etch into that. Things with a much higher density like acrylic and things like that, you're going to see a lot better results. But yeah, the plastic's just going to melt. So again, you got to do it the hard way, brother. So let's see here. One of the other folks in the chat asked about photo etch. And does it need soldering and fluxing sometimes? Yes, some parts do. The more intricate pieces of photo etch that actually form objects and things, yes, do need that. You're going to find that more with kind of armor photo etch kits and things. With most of the photo etch parts that you can get for Gundam, they're more surface details than anything. You may need to bend some, but in terms of soldering and fluxing and all that, I haven't seen many that actually require that. So good question.
Even like that set, there was that set that came out fairly recently for the Shinanju, that like photo etch like metal detail up set for the Shinanju. Even that, I don't think that required any soldering or anything for that kit, as far as I know. So.
Oh, Casey Jones is funny.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles character?
No, the guy in the chat. Maybe he is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles character. If they do it all the time, I'd like to see them because, yeah, I don't. No, it's not going to happen, dude. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, so let's get back to kind of the gift giving conversation here real quick. Let's finish it out because we've got about 13 or so minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So Justin, any gifts that you would want to give Jacob there?
Anything I would want from Jacob?
No, anything you want to give to him.
Oh,
every time we visit, we always trade stuff.
Yeah, I do have something for him. I just gotta find it.
Oh, okay.
I give him all kinds of stuff.
Like a big hand?
Yeah, well, he's already got.
I got two.
He's got two big hands?
Yep, right here.
Nice.
No, I brought him back some stuff from my trip to Japan, and he gave me high-grade Amazing Freedom.
Oh, rocking. Good gifts.
Yeah.
There you go.
Justin, you weren't going to keep that amazing.
I liked it, but I knew I wasn't going to paint it. I knew I wasn't going to paint it. I wasn't going to do anything with it. So he wants to paint it.
Yeah.
So I'm,
I really like that kit a lot. So you should enjoy it.
So great.
It is.
That gun is awful. That gun is trash.
Yeah.
I got a different.
That makes me so.
Put up a key again.
That was just like the laziest thing. They went like. That was Naoki's design. Did a really awesome job, like just with the mobile suit itself. And he came to the gun. He's like, "Well, we got two leftover
funnels on it. It looks so much better."
Yeah, I got two dragoons left. Let's put those on the gun, I guess. But, okay.
He could have done anything else but that. Like he could have stuck them on the guns on the back, or something else,
or just
it didn't work.
Yeah. The rest of the kit is really cool. I was just trying to think, since we were talking about even though it would be against Justin's recommendation. If you are going to buy any kits, I was thinking about what I would recommend. Like that stuff that has come out this year that I would recommend.
The Blue Destiny high grade is super great.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talk about that, the Blue Destiny high grade.
It's good. Any of the high grade kits based on the new GM are fantastic.
Yeah, the new ground.
It's great.
Nice.
The Jim as well would be another really good one.
Oh yeah,
of course.
That's like my new
crazy
favorite.
things come out with that.
It's like if you need a Christmas gift for someone and like you really have no idea, you can just get that kit. Even if they already have one, they'll love having a second one.
Yeah.
또 왔어. 모아나 안 볼 거야? It's watching Moana, but I think you
no exciting.
He's really happy. I don't know.
Nice. Oh, look at him. Little Noah. Cool. All right. So for me, man, what would I give somebody that likes Gundam stuff? You know what? The 100 Grimgird. I know we don't want to give kits. I know Justin said don't give kits, but that's a good kit. It's a really good kit.
Really nice. I got the high grade right here. It's really good.
Yeah, that's you got the 144, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean both of them are good kits. I actually used both of them, both parts from those kits on the Aussie. So yeah, I'm very familiar with both of them, and they're both really good, really well designed kits. So highly recommend the Grimgird. What else? Oh, easy one. Boom. Chopper 2.
Hey.
I can't stress that enough. Definitely a good buy.
Speaking of books, the Sazabi book that I reviewed from Mike Rinaldi. I did a review on that book. I can grab it off my shelf here in just a second.
Which one is it?
Remember that? The
SM03 or something like that?
Yeah, SM03. Single Model 03 from Mike Rinaldi. Mike Rinaldi has put out a few books, but it's his first Gundam.
He does a lot of things. They look good. Those books look awesome.
They're really nice. I'll grab it. Hang on just a second.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, but I mean, so for books, guys, books are
I got a bunch of them.
A crazy good gift to give. Like we talked about the Scratch Build Revolution. You know what Zach's going to show here in a second. There you go. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen those.
Present. Oh wow. Yeah. I also just like the size. It's really
it's smaller than I would have imagined.
Way. I did a review on this, so there's the whole video on this there too. But
nice.
Really good.
You want to talk about modeling? We'll talk about modeling books.
Oh yeah, there you go, Justin.
That is a tiny book. Whoa, baby book.
It's small, but
right.
it's like it's just as thick as anything else. It's just the smaller size. So, nice. I like it a lot.
What's the price point on that, Zach?
I think it's like $20, like that too.
That's not bad. Yeah. Noah likes it.
He's singing.
That's adorable.
All about Zaku. There's a one about GMs. They just kind of it's like a bunch of information about them that I can't read.
The
Noah Ken books are great. Yeah.
I really been wanting to get that one actually.
Yeah.
Scratch Build Revolution 1 and 2.
Scratch Build Revolutions 1 and 2. Those are wonderful books too. Yeah.
Good call. Books, if anybody wants to see a gift, the Monster Hunter Art Book 3 is coming out soon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, hit me up.
Zach, release the screen.
Sorry. Yeah.
We got to our dude, Mr. Dash.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Shout out to Kevin.
I think this is one of the weirder tutorial books I own, but it's really nice. Because it doesn't really just teach you techniques. It just kind of goes through his builds and you learn like as he goes through.
Yeah. It's almost like a demo type book.
If you want to weather, this book is amazing. You don't have to know how to read it. The pictures tell you everything.
Now that's a Chinese publication, right?
If you want to hand paint, same people that made that one did one on hand painting and Vallejo and all kinds of other crazy stuff.
Nice.
This is probably the only book I'm not going to recommend, and this was given to me. Oishi's modulation book is like 12 pages, and if you are not familiar with painting at all, this book is going to do nothing for you.
Oh,
if you've been painting for a while, this is a nice book. But if you have never painted anything, you're going to get nothing from it.
Oh,
nice.
Scratchbuild Revolution.
There you go.
Roboholic.
Oh,
Aoki.
Yeah. I want to get that so bad.
In
It's
Combat.
So good.
Is
Oh, that's the
Combat?
first
That's
one.
the first one, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's really good.
It shows you so many different like weathering products and how to use them. And the frame arms modeling book is awesome.
Oh, that's a good one. I've got
It's
to
a
get that.
good. It
I think I
shows you a
have
lot
that.
of really neat tricks on frame arms kits, and like just different kinds of builds, and like people that did really neat builds just using the frame. They didn't even buy like a whole frame arms kit. They just used the frame.
Yeah. I think I have that book actually. I have to look. Ricardo in the chat just mentioned there's a book that just came out in Japan called The Beginner Gundam Modeling in 4 steps, and he said it's like 4,000 yen and worth every penny. So Ricardo knows his Ricardo knows his shit, so I trust in his opinion. So if you,
tell Ricardo, hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a couple weeks.
well, you just did, Jacob, because he's watching.
Well, no, I haven't seen him. He sees me.
He went to Japan.
Exactly.
It's all right.
It's all good. But yeah, so if if you see the Beginner Gundam Modeling in 4 steps, pick it up. Ricardo endorses it. Another person asked real quick, what size and brand of chisels should you get when starting out? Great question. There are 2 really great brands out there, the best of the best. There's BMC and then there's MadWorks. Those are probably the most well-known ones. I know Josh does anybody know what Josh uses? He uses some crazy Japanese brand that he swears by that are like $80 a piece or something like crazy like that.
Tsujibori, but I think Tsujibori is BMC.
I think so. Yeah. Well, Tsujibori Do is what is how they're titled, but I don't know. But anyway, Josh uses something really crazy expensive, but BMC or MadWorks, can't go wrong with either one of those. I have MadWorks just because that's what I bought, and they work really, really well, and I'm very happy with them. But if I was to have a choice, I would probably, starting out, go with MadWorks because you buy the blade and then you can just put them in almost any sized hobby knife holder, which is really convenient because the blades themselves are cheaper individually than the whole chisel that you would have to buy through BMC. And then you'd also have to buy a handle because trying to chisel with a little BMC chisel in your hand is instant arthritis. So those are the 2 brands that me personally that I would recommend in terms of sizes. For master grades, the panel lines, I would probably go with anywhere from a 0.1 to a 0.15. I use 0.15 just because I like that look. For 144, I'd probably go no larger than a 0.1 for the main panel lines. And then you're going to want some for notching and larger features. To start out with, I would probably go 0.5 millimeter and 1 millimeter. That will get you, a really good range of widths in just 3 chisels. After that, I'd probably use a 0.3 and a 0.7. If you wanted to, buy another round of chisels, and then after that, sky's the limit. I have a 3 millimeter BMC chisel that I used for cleanup for surfaces and angles and things. Comes in handy sometimes. You can also get like a 1.2 millimeter if you're going to be doing like plastic sculpting and things like that. We had a demo of that in for our class. If you're going to be actually sculpting in the plastic itself, those are very useful. But yeah, that's what I would recommend in terms of chisels and things like that, and great for Christmas gifts. So there you go. So rock and roll. All right, it's 9 p.m. That's about it. Let's go around and plug what we need to plug, and then we'll call it a day. What do you guys say? Let's start with Simon. Simon, what do you have to plug, buddy?
Well, you can find me here on YouTube as Gundam UK, and on Facebook as Gundam UK.
Nice. Don't forget that Mecha Lounge.
Oh, of course. Head to mechalounge.com.
Very good.
It's a very how can I put it, retro forum for mecha modelers.
Nice.
Come and join up and have some fun.
Very good. Very good. Zach, what do you have to plug, man?
Nothing special, really. Just the same stuff. Still working on the Tristan. Just in the final steps, just putting the panel or the water slides on the XN riser. Then as soon as that's done, I'm going to be working kind of primarily on the Sozabi dress-up kit as well. So I did like a first. What's that?
When's episode 5 coming out? I really like that series, man. You need to do more of it, seriously.
I wish I could, like, but doing work in progress videos or like that kind of video, take more time and stuff and everything.
I do.
But as far as just what reviews I have coming up, like I said, there's the Sun Toys Eva kit, as well as I'll have this. I guess I could have shown this earlier when we were talking about this. The P Bandai Fire Alarmed Isolde kit is really nice, but it's basically the same thing, just a few different parts. If you've never built any version of the HGUC Fire Alarmed Custom, I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite kits.
Nice.
And then also just got these the other day, so these aren't snapped yet, but reversible Gundam and this weapon set too. So those reviews will also be coming soon. So
cool.
Yep. Usual stuff.
Rock
Nothing too special, out of the ordinary, but yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir. Justin, Jacob, you guys got anything to plug?
I'm just gonna keep it simple this time. Plug the Instagram, plug the YouTube, because work's slowing down, so I can make videos again.
Nice.
Videos are coming, guys, and I have opened a new submission thing. So if you want to send me pictures of your kits and I'll put them in my videos, do it.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I want to give back a little bit. I want some people to be recognized.
Very cool.
Totally.
Jacob, what about you, man? You got anything to plug?
No, not at the moment. I need to start working on some stuff to actually have new things to plug.
He's Cupcake Mecha on Instagram, so follow him.
Yeah, definitely. Nice.
And we should.
All right, rock and roll.
There's a bunch of our just like friends in the chat too.
Yeah.
Like Ricardo is there. Tim, Alexio's there. Jeff is there, and Alex has been there. A bunch of people have been hanging out in the chat. So
yeah.
Yes.
Hefe's in there.
Yeah.
Got everybody
Hello,
there.
Hefe.
Yep.
Shout out to everybody out there. Good stuff. For me, guys, Chata Mecha on Facebook, Instagram, a little bit of Twitter. So right now, if you didn't see the teaser image of the Aussie, I'm knee deep in a massive real work project. I've actually been working all weekend on it, and that is taking absolute priority right now. So I don't have time to take final pictures of the Aussie, but as soon as I'm done with that, hopefully by Monday, I will get final pictures of the Aussie, and I will get those up so you guys can see those. Hopefully the little tease was enough to kind of satiate everybody wanting to see it out there. But other than that, I also hope to kind of update and re-release the Child of Mecha store. You can get
I need to do
this
that too.
amazing t-shirt right there of the Aussie. You can get that on there hopefully sometime soon. Some other neat and cool designs, prints as well. Hopefully that'll be coming down the pipeline, hopefully sooner rather than later, maybe in time for Christmas. Good Christmas presents, maybe. Yeah. So anyways, hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Shout out to Josh, who's in Dubai. Check him out, Josh Dara, his store and all that good stuff there too. Shout out to Jim, definitely, for starting this whole thing, Gundam fixation. But thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. Sorry we've been away for a minute, but we're back now. We'll see you next month. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
See ya.